All right, good morning, YouTube. This is BoxingWave. I just wanted to do a quick recap of Donaire Inoue 2 for those that missed my live commentary or those who missed the fight early this morning. It was a lot of people that still did not know that this fight was going down early this Tuesday morning, and I did live commentary on it. So those who didn't know, didn't see it, Inoue blew him away in 2 rounds, basically. All right, the fight was this morning on ESPN, and the first round starts out very slow. Starts out the first half of the round very slow. Both of the fighters being very cautious, very light on their feet, just bouncing on their toes and just filling each other out. Right? No punches landing for like halfway through the first round, and then they both start to open up. Inoue started to connect with some well-timed hooks and right hands, and then Donaire catches him with a big right hand, which stuns him a little bit. All right, but Inoue, for the most part, is the one that's outboxing Donaire early on. In the closing seconds of the first round, Inoue catches him with a big right hand, drops Donaire in the closing seconds, and Donaire gets back up, but it was a big shot, and the round is over. So we already scored a knockdown. Inoue scores a knockdown in the first round. We go into the second round, and Inoue just dominates Donaire. He's catching him with right hands. He's catching him with left hooks. He's catching him with everything, continuously hurting Donaire. Donaire kind of goes to war with him, but he's getting caught with everything that Inoue is throwing at him, and Inoue dominates him, drops him, and the ref weighs it off. Donaire was hurt several times in the second round, and even though he gets back up after getting knocked down, he wasn't, I think it was a fair stoppage because he was taking too much punishment. He's a 39-year-old man. At the end of the day, Donaire doesn't need to take that amount of hits to get put away. And I thought it was a proper stoppage. And Inoue is now currently 3-belt unified champion at 118 at bantamweight. He holds the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC titles. And that's it. Now, as far as post-fight interviews, I don't really know because not only was I covering the fight live, but they were speaking in Japanese. The fight was out in Japan, which is pretty much the reason why the fight was so early in the morning. And I don't know as far as what these two are going to do in their career. I think Donaire, honestly, I think it's time for him to retire. I mean, he had a great career. He's a legend. He's one of the greatest Filipino fighters of all time. And I think there's not really much he can prove. I think if he were to win this fight, it would have been his biggest win on his resume. But being that he didn't win and he got stopped in 2 rounds, I think it's time to let it go. You know, I mean, he is, to me, the second best fighter in the bantamweight division. You know, and I think there's still room to make fights. Like if he is to go back and revisit a fight with Casemiro, maybe that'll be cool. But I personally think that there's nothing else to really prove. You know, you've been champions at several divisions multiple times. It's nothing really to prove. You know, you're a great fighter. But at the very top, which is Inoue, he took another L and he was dominated this time around. Wasn't even close, and it was quick. As far as Inoue, I said in the commentary video that I did, Paul Butler is currently holding the WBO title. I would like Inoue to try to make that fight next, so he can become undisputed. There's no other fights I really desire for him at 118. I obviously wanted him to fight John Rio Casemiro at some point, but I don't believe that that's a fight that he needs to wait for. You know, Casemiro, for whatever reason, when it comes to the big fights, there's always an issue with him. You know, I'm not saying it's always his fault, but there's always an issue when making these bigger fights with Inoue, with Donaire. These fights should have been made already with Casemiro. He's been around for a minute, and he's not even champion at this point. I would like Inoue to fight Paul Butler, win against Paul Butler, become undisputed, and go up to 122. And I think by the time he goes up to 122, we should have an undisputed champion up there, because it's only Stephen Fulton and MJ Akhmadaliev that's left. Those are the only 2 champions. They're both unified. And if we could get that fight between those 2 next, and a fight between Paul Butler and Inoue next, I would love I would love for Inoue to go up as an undisputed champion at 180 to fight the undisputed champion at 122. Preferably Stephen Fulton, because that's my guy, and I think he's already, you know, pushing up to be a pound-for-pound fighter if he's not already. I would love for that fight to take place. I mean, that's a great fight in my opinion, and that's what I want to see. So that's my thoughts on the fight, man. Just a quick post-fight recap. Inoue, again, still king, beating Donaire. Doesn't really move him up or down on the pound-for-pound list. He's still around somewhere in that list. You know, it doesn't really do anything because he's already beat Donaire. Even though Donaire was coming off of 2 good wins, it doesn't do anything because we already knew Inoue was better than Donaire. And I predicted a stoppage, but not this soon. You know, I thought it would be in a later half of the fight, in the second half of the fight. All right. But anyway, that's my review of the fight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Share the video if you could. And see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.